I'm 24F and my ex-fiance is 25M. A bit of backstory. My fiance and I met while I was working at reception. He's a very handsome, charming, and quite the intelligent man. We began chatting and I found out he was working in my country. His original country is Kuwait. Things hit off, we knocked boots. I guess this is what they say. My father had an affair and he left us, Mom, me and my sister penniless. My mom had to work for us for several years until I finished college and got a decent paying job. It helped my mom. I introduced my fiancé boyfriend then to my family and they loved him. Everything felt like a dream. We got engaged, he loves my family and my family loves him. It was until he told me his father is a well-known manufacturer and he's actually a millionaire, a sole heir of a multi-million-dollar empire. I wanted transparency, but it never happened. We sorted things out, and that was when he apologized. We set a date to get married, and in December we were supposed to fly for our marriage. Before that, we arranged a party. I grew up with a lot of friends and family from my mom's side who helped us. There, I find out that my best friend, 22, had a crush on me for years. We talked for a bit, and he asked me to ditch my fiancé for him. He began telling me difference between me and my fiancé. My fiancé was not there due to an urgent meeting. My friends and I get drunk, and it ended with me sleeping with my best friend on our bed after everyone left. That's not the worst of it. My fiancé comes back next morning, and he finds us naked on bed. The aftermath was him cooking breakfast while we were still asleep. He didn't click photos or called any of our friends or my mom to tell what happened, but instead he packed everything that belonged to him. Left a note saying the house is mine and detailing everything how disappointed he is. He thanked me for showing my true face before the wedding. He also canceled our tickets, left his engagement ring to stay in hotel. I found out later about the hotel part. He contacted his lawyer to transfer the house in my name. When I get up, he was just gone. That note sent me to hell. I began crying and screaming. My best friend wakes up and tries to console me. I hit him and had a mental breakdown. He called my mom and that is when it blew up. He called my mom a couple of days later with the same number. We tried calling that multiple times, but he never picked up. We thought he left. My mom was surprised to see that number. He told my mom everything. The wedding is off. He was on his way to airport. He specifically asked my mom to take care of me and for us to move into the house as he already transferred it to my name. He made a single request, to never ever contact him again. I tried to talk to his sister, but she blocked me. I never had the chance to apologize. I never had the chance to tell him it meant nothing. This was the worst thing to ever happen to me. I moved out and moved in with my mom. We never stepped inside that house again. For once, I wish I could just apologize to him. He's blocked me on everything, changed every passwords, and never even tried to reach out. This is my story. My biggest regret is I never got the chance to apologize and tell him how sorry I am. I feel like I don't even deserve it because of what I did. I feel for you. You had the ideal future within your reach and you ruined it, all because someone else convinced you otherwise. It's incredibly hard to come to terms with the fact that you've lost everything a woman could ever hope for due to your own mistakes. Please see this as a significant wake-up call to make changes in your life and reflect on yourself. Try to find out the reasons for why you did what you did. Attend therapy, read more, start a new job, take walks and try to self-reflect. Many individuals have gone through similar experiences as you and managed to resolve their problems, leading to a more satisfying life. I wish you luck. Now for some comments. Seriously, this best friend of yours is garbage. He disrespected your fiancé with his bigoted, self-serving bullshit and encouraged you to be your worst self. Unless you're planning to marry this BF, you need to cut him out of your life forever. Lack of self-esteem is a huge issue for a lot of wayward spouses and the driver of a lot of affairs. Finding comfort around those beneath you, encouraging the worst in you rather than deal with the feeling of being undeserving of someone who sees the best in you. I wish you luck and future happiness. I don't understand what went through your head. Maybe you like your friend more than you believe, and he truly blinded you with his money. I saw your last post and you seemed like you didn't want to go through this marriage. Maybe you sabotage yourself so this will not happen. I suggest to think about what you want in your life really, but don't try to contact him again. I can empathize with your statement that it was the worst thing that ever happened. For your BS, they would describe it the same way, because there is something more visceral and painful about seeing your partner like that with someone unimportant. That said, I've been in situations where I sabotaged my own evening by drinking in excess. You could start at the root problem. Why did you keep drinking? And why did it happen with this company? Did you want to lower stress, lower inhibition, or was it nativity to your feelings for the friend? I could look back at some situations and honestly say I drank because I was genuinely uncomfortable. Sometimes it was to fit in, other times it was the want to have a loss of control and a freedom to be myself. Story 2. So my husband and I were having a discussion about the upcoming holidays this year, and he has said he doesn't want to really be a part of any of it. We usually switch between his family and mine each year for Thanksgiving and Xmas respectively. And this year, he said he doesn't want to go to either and wants to just stay home and do it with us because he had no desire to be with our families and put on a happy face at the worst time in his life. The holiday time last year was right as my affair was starting, and so I understand why he feels this way. Neither our parents know about the affair. I was willing to tell them initially, but my husband was the one who said he didn't want to. He didn't want to upset them, and in the case of his own parents, he didn't want them to hate me for the rest of their lives and to tarnish the relationship if we stayed together. In an attempt to get him to rethink spending the holidays with our families, I volunteered to tell them about the affair if he thinks it will help him regain part of his ability to enjoy the holidays again. To be honest, I didn't really think about this offer and just said it. So I was shocked when he agreed that I should tell them and he will then decide if he wants to go or not. I don't know what to do. I know I have to follow through on my offer and tell them both, but it makes me sick to my stomach to think about. I know my own parents will be upset with me, but it's his parents I'm dreading even more, especially his dad, who I have always had a particularly strong relationship with and who I know will be disgusted by what I did. Can anyone offer any guidance on how to navigate this? My husband said he will join me if I want him to, but not to expect him to have my back. He said he'll support me as best he can, but this is something I have to deal with on my own. All he said is that he will tell them that he is trying to find a way through this, but that it is the most difficult thing he's ever had to deal with, and leave it at that. I don't know what to do. Any advice from people who have gone through this? What can I expect? This situation highlights the harsh repercussions of betraying your partner. It's crucial to fully acknowledge and take responsibility for the harm caused, especially if the betrayed spouse wants transparency. Demonstrating humility and courage is essential in this process, as it shows sincerity in efforts to rectify the situation and seek forgiveness. Your commitment to making amends and seeking guidance here reflects your willingness to confront and address the consequences of your actions. Comments. My advice, write out what you'll say beforehand and speak to them in private. Take full ownership, apologize, and say you're grateful for the second chance and will do whatever it takes to regain lost trust. But you'll understand if this changes things for them. Your BS may be willing to offer reconciliation, but that doesn't mean they will, so take that to heart. I wouldn't take your BS with you for support. This is your burden to bear, and you need to hear what they say. He should only come if he wants to see his family and speak to them afterwards. I wouldn't count on salvaging any of these relationships. Your actions are irredeemable to most, and if they have experience with infidelity, they'll have their own biases on top of it. Either way, this needs to happen, and better for it to come from you. Sometimes the hardest part with dealing with a situation is facing the issue. You know this is going to suck, you know why it will suck, but you also know it's the right thing to do for your husband in this situation. Will you get flack from both families? Most likely, but it's understandable why, and to some extent deserving, but it will also further prove to your husband that you're committed to him even with all the hate. Look at this as you are controlling the narrative and getting the bad news out early. Would you rather it get exposed at Thanksgiving dinner or Christmas morning? That would taint that holiday forever for all involved. Exposing the affair now gives the parents more time to process the information and to calm down before the holidays. It also means he will be more likely to attend if the parents respond positively. You may even get to create some much-needed new memories that are vital to your marriage surviving long-term. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. This is one more step to restoring your marriage to a happy and healthy relationship. Good luck.